gamers, your boy Leaves here with that bleeding edge build that I promised you. I'm glad I waited a few days since I was able to iron out all the kinks of the build and change a lot from my initial findings. Learned a lot about the build. So without further ado, I introduce Rainbow's Edge. This build is predicated on the basis of ailment stacking, basically what everyone is doing currently. I kind of like going the catalyst and one-handed dagger route. This allows you to have a lot of options on how to stack ailments on bosses, on mobs, and it also lets you get around pretty fast. You could go the two-handed route. That gives you the highest damage per hit, but a lot less quality of life. So what you would end up losing is the ability of spamming ailments this fast. Being able to spam ailments that fast is huge. It allows us not to have to rely on wisdom to transfer ailments, or even stacking ailment stats on your gear or anything. It also allows us Aether Jump to get around the map a lot faster, and you get to have Plague Burst and Bulwark on at all times. So for our stats, as you saw earlier, you want to go pure toughness. There's nothing else that matters. We could go ferocity. If you feel you have enough survivability, you would stack everything ferocity. I prefer toughness because having 100,000 HP is really nice in case we do get hit. Agility, attack speed does nothing for this build, and wisdom, as I said, we attack so fast, especially with 0 cooldown Winter's Grasp, that we do not need high ailment stacking stats at all. For skills, we want to grab Aether Jump, Winter's Grasp. Now, bear in mind, you want to get cooldown reduction until you do not have it on here. As you can see, it has a 1.1 cooldown. I only need one stat because my Winter's Grasp is level 90. Some others need both the stats. So you want to get this as low as possible on cooldown reduction. Plague Burst. This allows us to inflict ailments a lot faster and also gain more damage for ailment stacking. Bleeding Edge. This is the only node you truly need. These other ones just increase the damage a lot more overall. Anomaly. This is another great skill to stack ailments and also pull all the mobs into one central location. And Bulwark of Dawn. This will allow you to do even more ailments, as you can see. So together with everything on here, we have Stasis Cursed, Poison, Bleeded Poison again, Shock, and Weakness going at all times. I was able to get burn on my Aether Jump, but it just wasn't... I didn't like using it for an ailment stacking skill. It's just more useful to have it as getting around the map as fast as possible. For items, we want a dagger with as much damage as possible, boots with as much movement speed and toughness as possible, along with ailment chance and resist, a catalyst with Aether damage dispels, damage rings, mostly to attacks, some health and crit damage does not hurt, a belt with +2 ailment stacks inflicted, an amulet with +2 ailment stacks inflicted, spalders and gloves with rage and willpower reduction, as well as toughness, and either material damage or damage percent. A chest piece with transfer time reduction between willpower and rage, and toughness. Spalders with, again, toughness, and transfer time reduction between willpower and rage, as well as all resistance. Helmet with percent damage or percent material damage, transfer time reduction, toughness, and if you can get it, resource generation. For the passive tree, we're going to come out of the soldier tree, grabbing maximum health, resource cost reduction, crit damage, and crit chance. Heading into the scholar tree, grabbing resource cost reduction, max willpower and rage, and ailment chance. Then heading into the Kabbalah's tree, and grabbing immortal offering, insidious decay, grievous afflictions, and power of the first men, along with interact expert and artifact analysis. We'll then head over to Child of Fury and grab Furious Appetite and Frenzied Blows. Our next tree we're going to be traveling to is Time Weaver, grabbing which time cannot heal, and differential wounds. Dire Junction, practice stamina, Impossible Soul for max ailment stacks. Then leaving Warmonger, we're going to pick up the Global Leech, Feast for Crows, and Bestial Frenzy, along with its child node. Heading to the Ranger tree, we're going to grab Persistence Hunting, and then head over to the Warlock tree, grabbing Duty to Exterminate, Twisted Obligation, and Residual Energy. Then heading into the Eos tree and grabbing Dawn's Pious Striker and Sudden Death. Around level 75-76, you're going to be grabbing Branded Burst and Indifference. And once you have some extra points, you're going to grab a Clandestine Execution in the Assassin tree and its child node. Eventually, you can head for Academic Fieldwork. It's not that great, but it's a nice buff whenever you do have Sarasor runs going. Alternatively, you could head over to Salvatore Anchor to grab some extra resist or some extra health regeneration depending on your gear. This is a very worthwhile node.